All right, we're out in the vineyard. So I just found a guy on Craigslist. Basically, he's got his own little vineyard here, and so I just made a deal with him. Come pick some grapes. So these are Cabernet Sauvignon. Take a look. Not too bad. Not too bad. So yeah, man, let's start picking some grapes. Let's make us some wine. So here we got some clusters. They're pretty small. You know, I'm not gonna lie, man. But the thing is, they've already had a couple people come through and pick these. So, you know, I've always been there on like the first day of picking, you know. Today ain't the first day of picking. I can tell you that you want to be there on the first day of picking. That's still there. You know, there's still grapes and all, but man, you just got to work for them. So I keep telling myself, you know, it's going to be worth it. Just keep working for them. You know, it's just one day, man. Just keep pushing. Oh, this one looks pretty good. Check this out. This is one of the better ones here. This one is loaded. You know, like I said before, the clusters aren't real big, but they're there. They're there. You just kind of have to dig them out because I'm not the first one here, you know. But they're there. They're there. So I'm just going to keep grinding, man. If you're bored, come on over. I got a bucket for you. All right, let's keep grinding. All right, it's about 1 week later. You can see it's pretty much stopped bubbling. Fermentation looks like it's complete. I checked the hydrometer. It's at about 1, just thereabouts, just under, I think. So it should be completely fermented. So the yeast has turned all the sugar to alcohol, which is good news, right? So here's what I got going over here. So the idea is that I'm going to put it in my press. This is like a 7-gallon press. And again, all this stuff, I'm going to put links for Amazon where you can get all this stuff that I'm using. So if you want to use that, that's cool. I think I get like 50 cents if you get something. So it's no big deal either way. It's just for convenient for you. So I'm going to drip it into a, so the idea is I'm going to put the wine in there, right? The free run is going to run out first. It's going to go into just like a Arrowhead bottle, right? Then I'll put more stuff in there. I'll press it, squeeze out all the nice juicy bits, so it'll kind of go in there. Then what I'm going to do is, this is going to be my secondary fermentation tank. So this is a 100-liter thing. This thing is awesome, man. So check this out. So it's even got like the plug on the bottom. I've got it like a plumber's tape, so I can kind of move it around exactly how I want it. But this thing is awesome. It's got an adjustable top, so I'll be able to take it down to where the top of the wine is, so we can always make sure it's at the right level. Because the one thing is, if you're using just carboys, like 5-gallon carboys, what do you do with the extra 2 gallons, right? The extra 3 gallons. That's why I like this thing. So again, I'm going to press it, drain the juice there. Then we're going to put the juice in in this one. Okay, so just checking back in. So I've just kind of put grapes in there. You can see we're at about 4 gallons or so. So I started with 5 5-gallon buckets of grapes that I picked. You can see this thing is full here. I still got some in my container left, but anyway, so we're going to take a look to see how much we get in final. But yeah, so that's what we're doing right now. So I have about 4 gallons, let's say, of just free run. We're just pouring it in there, it just runs through. One thing that I'm doing this time that I've not used before is I'm using one of these mesh nets. The last time I did this, I've actually gone much bigger than I'm going this time. So this time I have a smaller press. This is like a 7-gallon press. And so I got one of these mesh nets. It's supposed to make cleanup easier. So we'll see. Cleanup's never really been a big problem for me, but whatever, you never know. So we'll see how it goes. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to press. But I think I'm going to change this, put another carboy down there just to kind of see what we get from the pressing. So it looks like we got about 4 gallons here. So we'll see what happens. So we're going to press. So the idea of the press is I've got these pieces that basically fit around the thing like this, right? And I've got this piece goes on top, just kind of pushes down, and then the little spinny deal goes on top of this, presses it down, juices the grapes, man. So that's it. So let's get pressing. Okay, we are done pressing. Again, we started with 5-gallon buckets of grapes. The one on the left is the free run, so that's before pressing. And then the one on the right, that is what I got from pressing. So you see I probably got, I don't know, what, 4 gallons free run, then maybe 2 gallons or so after pressing. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to combine those together. You can see I've got a fermenter over there. So I'm going to put them in there. Then the idea is to let them settle. And then the lees, the stuff that floats or sinks to the bottom, I'm going to sort of take the top off of that, throw that stuff out, and then I will store it for a little bit longer. So you can see here is my lid, right? So I put the lid down there, and there's like a rubber seal, inflatable, kind of like an inner tube around the side, right? So then you just pump the air out. See, it has a gauge here, whatever. Yeah, just got a little hook, just hang it there. And then just kind of keep checking it. You're really not supposed to keep them in here too long, or at least, just double check your pressures to make sure you're okay. But yeah, so again, this is a 100 liter Marchisio. So it's Italian. I actually like that finish. That's a cool finish, isn't it? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go put this away, and I got to clean up my press. So the cool thing is here, I've got, so we'll see how it goes, but I've got this screen in here. So we'll see if that helps any.
Three days later.
So things went well. The wine actually tastes pretty good. It tastes a little young, but tastes pretty good. So we're going to run secondary fermentation. Now, the challenge I have in this, as you probably saw, is that I didn't get enough wine out. I was hoping I could get at least 5 gallons because I've got a 5-gallon carboy going. I had to empty that big fermenter tank because I've got a batch of Zen going in it pretty soon. I've got 30 gallons or so of Zen. So I need that fermenter. So I had to get it out. So I thought this would be a good time just to go ahead and transfer it off the lees. So we're going to do some malolactic fermentation in this, but what I need to do now is I didn't quite fill my 5-gallon carboy, so I've got a lot of headspace there, right? So we don't want headspace, because if you have headspace on top of your wine, it can just turn it into vinegar, and we don't want that, man. We've gone way too far to be drinking vinegar. So what we can do is we can just top it off with another sort of similar wine, and it'll be fine. People do it all the time. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to add I'm going to add some Woodbridge up till I can get up to about the top, Then I add some malolactic bacteria, so a malolactic fermentation is going to change the malolactic acid into lactic acid, which to you and me, that means it's a little bit more smoother, a little bit more drinkable, and it's going to be a better wine doing that. But I got to wait till I get my Zin going, because I'm going to do a malolactic fermentation with both of them at the same time. So I still got a little bit of time before I get to that, probably, I don't know, about a week or so. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to top this off, fill it all the way up, put my airlock on it. Once my Zin is ready, I'm going to do a malolactic fermentation in it. Then we are going to let that go for a little bit. Then we're going to put it in oak barrels, right? So I've got 5-gallon oak barrel for this. I've got oak barrels for my Zinfandel. And speaking of Zinfandel, make sure you check out my video on Zinfandel. Right after this, I've got a series on making Zinfandel from grapes. I got 30 gallons going in my fermenter right now.